LestatYGO here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be profiling my updated vampire deck. This is an update and combo video to the previous vampire video. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you, and please consider subscribing for more awesome content. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. First, we're playing one copy of Ghost Sleeper. If this card's sent to the graveyard, you could add one Ghost Fusion from deck to hand. So this is going to enable your fusion plays. We're playing triple copies of Unizombie. This is going to be your new primary starter. I just think it's more consistent than Vampire Ghost in my opinion. This just enables more of your zombie plays by sending multiple zombies from the deck to the graveyard. We are playing one copy of Vampire Ghost. Again, it's not as consistent as Unizombie for setting up your plays, but you can still send a retainer or familiar from your hand to the graveyard to add a Vampire Grace from deck to hand, and then send either a familiar or retainer opposite of what you initially sent from your deck to the graveyard. Also, if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish it, and you gain an additional summon for a vampire monster. Speaking of, we're playing two copies of Retainer, which is your Vampire Spell Trap Searcher. Two copies of Familiar, which is your Vampire Monster Searcher. We're playing one copy of the Shadow Vampire. When this card's summoned, you can special summon another vampire from your deck. One copy of Scarlet, which can revive a vampire from your graveyard to the field. One copy of Vampire Grace. If you special summon a level 5 or higher zombie monster to the field, you can revive this from your graveyard at the cost of 2,000 life points. Two copies of Vampire's Domain. This just grants you additional normal summons for vampires. One copy of Vampire Domination. It's similar to a Solemn Judgment if you control a vampire monster. We are playing triple copies of Imseti to search for King Sarcophagus. One copy of Happy. The horse monsters are in here to enable your rank 8 plays, such as your Zombie Vampire, which can send zombies from your deck to the grave to set up more plays. Two copies of King Sarcophagus. Two copies of the Rotting Phoenix. This is just going to be used as link material. It's basically a free summon if you control a zombie. It's also a level 4 tuner. We're playing triple copies of Delta of Invitation. When this card's activated, you can set a level 5 or higher zombie from deck to grave. And if you control a zombie, you can produce a level 5 zombie token. One copy of Terraforming to search for a field spell. Triple copies of Curse of the Ancient Turtle. It's a Forced Burial for zombies. Speaking of, we are playing one copy of Forced Burial. One copy of Doom King. If you control a field spell during the standby phase, you can revive it. This card grants you a negate and removal. One copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord. Getting into the hand traps, we're playing two copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Two copies of Effect Veiler. And last but not least, we're playing two copies of Infinite Impermanence. Getting into the extra deck, we're playing one copy of Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. It's pretty much a Towers-like monster and also has the ability to steal your opponent's monsters, which fit into the theme of vampires because vampires like to use your opponent's monsters to help go into their Xyz. For generic fusion support, we're playing one copy of Nether Soul Dragon, and if we need to deal extra damage, we're playing one copy of Garuru. One copy of Psychic and Punisher. This is just in here for a Towers-like boss monster. You're going to be paying life points for your vampire monster's effects. So if your life points are lower than your opponent's, this becomes pretty much indestructible. One copy of Crimson Knight Vampire Braum. This can steal your opponent's monsters. Same with Vampire Sheridan, which can also get rid of an opponent's monster on field. One copy of the Zombie Vampire. Again, you can mill the top 4 cards of both players' decks to the grave, and if a monster is milled, you can revive it to your field. 1 copy of Hope Harbinger to get around power spells. We're playing 1 copy of Super Star Slayer Typhon Star Crisis. This card can be easily summoned and can remove cards on your opponent's field. 1 copy of Relinquish Anima. 1 copy of SP Little Knight for removal. 1 copy of Vampire Sucker. This allows you to use your opponent's monsters for the Tribute of Vampires. And not only that, whenever you revive a zombie monster from your graveyard, you can draw an additional card. 1 copy of Vampire Fascinator, great for clearing your opponent's board by stealing your opponent's monsters. 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. You can use a level 7 or higher monster to go into this so that it gains protection, and then it'll gain additional effects whenever it engages in battle. And last but not least, we're playing 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. You can use your opponent's monster as link material to have go into this, and if this card's link summoned, you can negate the effects of your opponent's face-up cards, as well as prevent a special summon each turn. Getting into the first of 3 combos, I'm going to show you how to easily summon Eldritch, the Mad Golden Lord. First, you want to activate your Delta of Invitation to send your Eldritch, the Golden Lord, from deck to grave. Then you're going to want to summon Unizombie. Use its effect to send Ghost Sleeper from deck to grave. Whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you can add Ghost Fusion to hand. Since you control a zombie type monster, you can special summon a level 5 tuner due to the effect of Delta of Invitation. Next, you can send Delta of Invitation to the graveyard to add Eldritch to hand with Eldritch's effect, and then special summon a zombie monster from your hand. So we're going to summon Eldritch itself. Next, we're going to activate Ghost Fusion. We're going to fuse the token with Eldritch to summon Eldritch, the Mad Golden Lord. Getting into the next combo, I'm going to show you how to easily summon your Doom King during the standby phase. First, you want to activate your Delta of Invitation. Send your Doom King from the deck to the graveyard. Next, you want to normal summon your Unizombie. This will allow you to send your Vampire Grace from deck to grave. Delta of Invitation's effect allows you to summon a level 5 token on the field if you control a zombie. Next, we're going to use both monsters on the field as link material to summon your Vampire Sucker. And then during the standby phase, you can revive your Doom King, which will grant you a negation effect and a removal effect. And whenever a level 5 or higher zombie monster special summon, you can pay 2,000 to special summon your Vampire Grace. And Vampire Sucker's effect, whenever a zombie monster is special summoned from the graveyard, you're able to draw 1 card. So that is a basic Doom King combo. Getting into the final 2 card combo, you want to open with Ghost and Retainer or Familiar. Doesn't matter, the result's going to be the same. First, you're going to normal summon Ghost. You're going to pitch a Retainer from hand to grave. Add Grace from deck to hand, and then send Familiar from deck to graveyard. Next, you're going to send Grace to graveyard to revive Retainer. Retainer's effect allows you to pay 500 to add a Vampire Spell or Trap from deck to hand, which is your Domination. Then you're going to send Ghost to grave to revive Familiar. At the cost of 500 life points, Familiar allows you to search for the Shadow Vampire. Next, we're going to use both monsters on the field as link material. Both are banished due to its own effect to summon Vampire Sucker. We're going to banish Ghost from graveyard to get an additional summon for a vampire. So we're going to tribute Sucker for the Shadow Vampire. Shadow Vampire allows us to summon Scarlet from deck. Chainlink 1 Grace to Scarlet. Scarlet at the cost of 1,000 allows you to revive your Sucker. And then Grace's effect, whenever a level 5 zombie special summon, you can pay 2,000 to summon it to your field. We're going to set Domination. And then depending on the situation, you can either Exceed or Link Climb. But for the sake of keeping it simple for this video, we're just going to Exceed summon for Vampire Sheridan. This concludes today's deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you, and please consider subscribing for more. awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and upload. And until next time, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.